The negative thoughts looping in your head are a physical state. They are a chemical habit. Your body becomes accustomed to its own cocktail of stress hormones, and after a while, it learns to crave the familiar painful rush of anxiety. This script will give you a 60-second mechanically precise technique to sever that cycle at the physiological level before your conscious mind even has a chance to argue. And you need to know this, because every time you let a thought spiral run its course, you are physically deepening a trench in your own brain, making the next one harder to escape. That feeling of a thought spiral isn't just in your head. It's a full-body phenomenon. It starts with a single trigger thought, maybe a worry about a deadline or a replayed awkward conversation. That thought causes your brain to signal a threat. In response, your adrenal glands release cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate quickens. Your breathing becomes shallow, shifting to your chest. These are ancient, hardwired survival responses. The problem is, your brain feels these physical changes. It senses the rapid heartbeat and the tight shoulders, and it interprets these signals as confirmation that the threat is real and getting worse. So what does it do? It generates more anxious thoughts to match the physical state. It searches for evidence. Of course, my heart is pounding. That presentation is going to be a disaster. Everyone will see I'm an imposter. This creates a closed feedback loop. The thought creates a physical sensation. The sensation validates and amplifies the thought. It's like a microphone placed too close to a speaker. A small sound gets amplified, comes out the speaker, goes back into the microphone, and gets amplified again, creating a piercing screech of feedback. Your thought spiral is a neurological screech. You can't outthink a feedback loop that uses your own thoughts as fuel. Trying to tell yourself to just stop thinking about it is like trying to yell at the microphone to be quiet. It only adds more energy to the system. The intervention has to come from outside the loop of thinking itself. It has to target the body. So where is the access point? Where is the one part of this automatic, lightning-fast process that you can consciously control? Your breath. Your breathing is the master control lever for your physiological state. This works through a massive nerve bundle called the vagus nerve, which wanders from your brainstem down through your torso, connecting to your heart, lungs, and digestive system. It's the main highway of your parasympathetic nervous system, the body's braking system. The part that tells you to rest, digest, and recover. When you are stressed, this system is offline. The accelerator, your sympathetic nervous system, is flawed. The pattern of your breathing is one of the most powerful signals you can use to deliberately engage the vagus nerve and apply the brakes. Here is the specific pattern. It's called the physiological sigh, and it's the fastest way known to science to bring your arousal state down. You are going to take 2 sharp inhales through your nose, back to back, without exhaling in between. The first inhale will be the main one, and the second one will be a smaller, topping off breath. Then, you will exhale everything, as slowly as possible, through your mouth. That's it. A double inhale through the nose, followed by a long, extended exhale through the mouth. This feels strange, but it is mechanically precise. The tiny air sacs in your lungs, the alveoli, can collapse under stress. This reduces the surface area available to get rid of carbon dioxide, which builds up in your blood and signals panic. That sharp second inhale pops those tiny sacs back open, like reinflating a balloon. This allows for a much more efficient offloading of carbon dioxide on the long exhale. As you exhale slowly, your heart rate slows down in lockstep. This entire process sends a powerful signal up the vagus nerve directly to your brainstem. The signal says, the threat is gone. Stand down. This is a physiological override. The body is calm. The neurological screech has stopped. For a moment, there is quiet, but the original thought that started the cascade is still there, waiting in the wings. A calm body with a worried mind is an unstable piece. The old thought pattern is ready to hijack the system again the moment it gets a chance. What stops the cycle from just starting all over again? You have to give your brain a new job. Your brain cannot hold 2 powerful opposing emotional states in the exact same instant. It can switch between them rapidly, but it can't feel genuine, embodied gratitude and visceral future-focused dread simultaneously. One will always crowd out the other. After you've reset your body with the breath, You have a brief window of maybe 30 seconds to introduce a competing state. This is where the gratitude statement comes in. And it must be specific. It must be sensory. Vague gratitude is useless here. I'm grateful for my family is an abstract concept. It has no teeth. You need to choose one small concrete physical thing you can be grateful for right now. The goal is to activate the sensory parts of your brain to pull your attention out of the abstract future and into the physical present. For example, I am grateful for the feeling of this warm coffee mug in my hands. Focus on the heat. I am grateful for the weight of this blanket on my legs. Feel the pressure. I am grateful for the sound of rain against the window. Listen to it. You describe the sensation to yourself internally. This forces your brain to engage with the present moment in a tangible way. It's hijacking your awareness. You are occupying the neural real estate that the anxiety was just consuming. You're starving the old pattern of the one thing it needs to survive, your focused attention. But what if the problem is real? What if you're facing a genuine crisis, like a job loss or a health scare? Isn't this just a form of toxic positivity, a dangerous exercise in denial? This is the most common and the most important objection. To say that feeling grateful for a cup of coffee will solve your financial problems is absurd, and that is a complete misunderstanding of the tool. This 60-second technique does not solve your problems. It is designed to change your state so that you become capable of solving your problems. A thought spiral is a state of high arousal paralysis. You are not thinking productively. You are spinning. You are burning emotional and cognitive resources while making zero progress. You are stuck in a ditch, wheels spinning, digging yourself deeper. This technique is the tow truck. Its only job is to pull you out of the ditch and put your car back on the pavement. That's it. Once you're back on solid ground, with a nervous system that is calm and a mind that is clear, you still have to drive the car. You still have to make the phone calls, send the emails, update the resume, and do the hard work of addressing your actual life problems. This tool gives you back the capacity to do that work. Problem solving happens from a place of relative calm. Creativity and insight emerge from a regulated state. The spiral is the opposite of that state. Breaking the spiral is the first essential step to doing anything useful. So, this is a tool for acute moments. It works. But how does this 1-minute intervention translate into a permanent change in your baseline state of being? Is it just a coping mechanism? A crutch you'll need to pull out every time you get stressed for the rest of your life? At first, yes, but over time something else happens. You are physically rewiring your brain. There's a foundational principle in neuroscience called Hebbian learning, which is often summarized as neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you have a thought and an accompanying emotional response, you strengthen the physical connection between those brain cells. Your habitual thought spiral is a neural superhighway. It's a path you have walked so many times that it has been paved, widened, and lit with streetlights. The response is fast, automatic, and requires almost no conscious energy. When you first use this breathing and gratitude technique, you are stepping off that highway and into the woods. You are forging a new tiny footpath. It feels awkward, slow, and unnatural. It requires immense deliberate effort. The first few times, you might even fail. The pull of the old highway is strong, but every single time you successfully complete the 60-second interruption, you are clearing a little more of that new path. A few more repetitions, and it becomes a trail. A few hundred, and it becomes a road. Eventually, after enough practice, this new response becomes the default. A trigger will fire, and your brain, seeking the path of least resistance, will automatically take the new, well-worn road toward regulation instead of the old superhighway to panic. You are training an automatic response. This is skill acquisition. It's the same process as learning to play the piano or drive a car. It moves from clumsy and conscious to smooth and unconscious. The science is sound and the theory is clear. So why does it sometimes fail when people try it? A lack of precision in the execution makes all the difference. People try a half-hearted version and conclude it doesn't work. The sequence and the focus are everything. So let's put it all together into an exact 60-second protocol you can use. The moment you feel the spiral starting, that familiar tightening in your chest, you start the clock. For the first 20 seconds, you do nothing but the breath. 3 full cycles of the physiological sigh. Double inhale through the nose, long exhale through the mouth. That's it. For these 20 seconds, your only job is to focus on the physical sensation of air moving in and out of your body. Count if you have to. 1, 2, exhale. Do it again and again. For the next 30 seconds, you find your embodied gratitude statement. As you continue to breathe slowly and evenly, you scan your immediate environment or your body for one single positive physical sensation. The texture of your sleeve, the feeling of the chair supporting your back, the taste of water in your mouth. Pick one and zoom in. Describe it to yourself in detail. The sleeve of my shirt is soft against my forearm. I can feel the small fibers. Stay with that single sensation for the full 30 seconds. For the final 10 seconds, you create a physical anchor. Take your right hand and place it over your heart. Just feel the contact. Your heart rate will be noticeably slower than it was 60 seconds ago. Your breathing will be deeper. Feel that physical evidence. This final step is crucial. It closes the loop. It provides concrete physical proof to your brain that your state has shifted. The danger has passed. You are safe. The entire process takes 1 minute. The goal is to shrink the lifespan of a negative thought. The goal is to take a thought spiral that used to ruin your entire afternoon and compress it into a 60-second event that you consciously process and resolve. This is the definition of emotional resilience. You are acquiring the ability to regulate your own nervous system on demand. You are the architect of your internal state. Your repeated reactions, conscious or unconscious, are the building materials. Every time a trigger hits, you have a choice. You can let the old feedback loop run, reinforcing the superhighway of anxiety and despair. Or you can take 1 minute, just 60 seconds, to breathe, to focus, to lay another stone on a new path. The path of calm, of presence, of control. The question isn't whether you're building something inside you. You are every day. The only question is what you're building, one breath at a time.